In this video, I'm going to be focusing on paper notebooks and sketchbooks and how to organize your visuals. A downside of using paper notebooks and sketchbooks is that they're not easy to organize, and they're even harder to reference and share with others. Once you've filled up a notebook and moved on to the next, the chances of you finding the exact visual that you're looking for in that past notebook is very low. Some of what you visualize will have a very short lifetime value, meaning you don't need to reference it after you've drawn it, or the window in which you might need to reference it is very short. Maybe the visual you drew had the desired effect of helping you learn or internalize the idea that you captured. Or if the window is still within the time that you're using that notebook, then it's probably fairly easy to reference it then. But some of the things you visualize become very valuable to you months and years down the road. And there's visuals that will become the focus of your work moving forward. It's no good if they're stuck in a notebook on a shelf or in a box. One solution is to keep multiple notebooks, one for each topic or type of visual thinking. One for insights, one for projects, another for brainstorming. Whatever works for you to divide them up into categories. This does two things. First, it categorizes your visuals so that if down the road you're looking for a process map, you can go to your process notebook. Second, each of your notebooks is going to be in the rotation longer. They're going to become and stay more familiar. And even if you have to store them, you'll still have the categories to help you look up which notebooks or pile of notebooks to search in. And even if it takes a while, you'll still eventually find the visual you're trying to reference. This is a fine solution if you want to stay with paper and pen and you don't want to use any digital support to help you reference or organize them. However, in the past decade, more and more of us have become familiar with creating digital documents, spreadsheets, and presentations on our computer. We are used to filing digital documents in file folders, and you often know how to find the files that you've most recently used. That's not to say we couldn't improve on our current filing skills. For the visuals that you create in your notebooks and sketchbooks that have more meaning, the best thing you could do is digitize them. If you have a smartphone, regardless of what platform you use, it is likely capable of taking high-resolution photos or has document scanning apps to turn your notebook visuals into digital files. I use an iPhone and it takes great photos, and the stock Notes app scans documents really well. Here are the steps. Open your notebook to the page you want to digitize and make sure it's flat. Make sure there's an adequate light from opposite of where you're standing to take the photo. I love this because now my important visual has even more potential than it had before. Digitizing your sketchbook and notebook pages is one thing, but now we need somewhere to put them. First, I need to create a set of folders to store these documents. This could be on a computer or on my mobile device, in the cloud, or on an external drive. Within that main folder, organize some subfolders that correspond to the different categories that you've labeled your notebooks. Now transfer that image from your phone to that folder using whatever means of text, email, or sharing. Now that it's digitized, you can copy it or move it somewhere else to be working on it some more. You can share it with a colleague or friend and have them give feedback. Or you can get it blown up and printed and hang it on your wall for inspiration and focus. Regardless of your reason for looking up that valued visual, you can look here first to check and see if you've digitized it already before you go back and search through your old notebooks. For storing your notebooks, keep them on a shelf or in a box in a cool, dry place. If anything happens to your digital copies, these are your hard copies, and someday, even if you don't need them, it's going to be a thrill to be able to go back to your notebooks and flip through the pages and see all the ideas and information that you captured within these pages. I hope this helps you to not only use the notebooks and sketchbooks that you prefer to practice and use visual thinking in your work, but also to digitize them so that they become as flexible and useful as you need them to be throughout your life and the future of your work.